Greetings, everybody. It's your old pal Frank here, and happy Friday. And welcome, finally, to my top 10 pickups of 2025. Yes, I know this is a video a lot of you out there have been waiting for quite some time now. And if you're wondering why it's taken me so long to finally do this video, well, for one, I was waiting for one card to come back from PSA, and we all know how quick they are. And the funny thing is, the card I was waiting for wasn't even being graded. It was getting a new holder because the original one it was in was cracked. So yeah, anyway, so needed a new holder, and then once the card was finally ready to ship, there was a little problem with payment. That was my fault. But everything was squared up and taken care of, and the card finally arrived like a couple weeks ago. And if you're wondering why I didn't do the video right away when the card came back, well, that's because I already had a bunch of videos planned already. So I was like, I gotta wait for the perfect time to do this video. And I figured since yesterday, Thursday, was the 2026 YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame induction, well then today would be the perfect day to do this, coming off the heels of that. And speaking of which, before we get started, I just wanted to, say congratulations to the 2026 Hall of Fame class. Very well deserved. And yes, if you're wondering, there are links down below in the description of this video to every channel that has been inducted. As well, there is a link to the induction video. And I also wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who actually had me on their ballot this year. I never expect to be on anyone's ballot because I know there's a lot of big channels that have been really chomping at the bit to get in for years now. So, just to see my name on the same ballot as, Shoebox Legends or Stukes or 3D 80s Kid, I'm like, wow, you know? And I took a look at the Google spreadsheet of every channel that was nominated this year, and I looked at it fast, but I believe I actually got 10 votes this year, which is really something because last year I believe I got a big goose egg. That's fine. And I think the year before that I got I don't know, I think 4 votes or something. And even getting 4 votes, I was like, wow, people actually voted for me. So to see that I got double digits this year, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So that's why, again, to the channels who had me on their ballot this year, thank you very, very much. That was pretty cool. So, yeah. Now, as I said, we're taking a look at my top 10 pickups of 2025. But before we get to those, you guys know the routine around here. If you've been watching my videos for the last while now, you know we do not start a video or open any packages or whatnot until we have our card of the day. And a couple videos ago, I was mentioning how I was putting this little set together from 2003 Topps. Yes, when Topps still had licensing for hockey. And it's called Lost Rookie Cards. So basically, I think it's a 10 card set. And basically they took certain players who were supposed to have a rookie card in a certain year, but let's say got their rookie card like the year after or whatnot. So, like, for example, we have this Curtis Joseph. Now, that's 89.90 tops. So if you're familiar with Joe Sakic's rookie card, it's of this design. Now, Curtis Joseph's rookie card was the year after this. But yeah, in 2003 they did a little set showing what, their actual rookie card should have looked like. So I'm going after these, and I figured since hockey returns tonight for my hometown Montreal Canadiens following the Olympic break, I would feature a Montreal Canadien and a card from this set. So we have Montreal Canadiens great, the legendary Patrick Roy. And it's kind of fitting because Montreal plays the Islanders tonight, and Patrick Roy just so happens to be the head coach of the Islanders, so kind of fitting. All right, so I got my list here all written down on a comic book backing board like I do every year since I started going after a top 10 list for the year. So I'll do these in order of the way they're written down on the list. So we're going to kick things off with some hockey. And we have here from 1977, O-Pee-Chee WHA. Are you ready for some nightmare fuel, folks? Set your peepers to this Anders Hedberg. Oh man, I've always liked this card just because of how creepy his smile is. But all jokes aside, Anders Hedberg was one hell of a hockey player. And I mean, when you're on a line in Winnipeg with Bobby Hull and Ulf Nilsson, yeah, that's something. Well, actually, Hedberg and Nilsson came to the Jets, and when they did, Bobby Hull pretty much demanded that he be put with them because of how good they played. And that's some pretty high praise when you're getting kudos from the Golden Jets. So there we go. Next, we got some football, and this is from 1957 Topps, and it is the rookie card of the legendary Richard, or as most folks know him as Dick Night Train Lane. Let's go. In the last little while, I've been looking into, a lot of football legends and whatnot, and there's almost no, legends list that doesn't mention Night Train Lane. So I was like, I'm gonna try and hunt down his rookie card. And when was it? In April, there was the Montreal edition of the Sports Card Expo. And I think on the Saturday morning, I walked through the door, and the second table I went to had a complete 57 top set. And I'm looking through the binder, and I found this card, and I was asking the vendor, I was like, are you selling this as a set, or are you willing to break it up? And right away he asked me, he goes, what card are you interested in? And I pointed at this, and he's like, oh, Night Train. I was like, yeah. And he made a deal with me, and it was beautiful. And I walked away a very happy man. So yeah. Okay, in spot number 8, we have from 1990, Upper Deck Baseball. I'm sure a lot of you could probably already guess what card it might be just from that set. But it is, of course, SP1 of one Mr. Michael Jordan. Yes, like a lot of collectors and young boys at the time, I too have wanted this card for a very long time, but prices were always like nuts to me. And when I finally got my hands on it for the right price, probably like a lot of people who actually found one of these in a pack or bought it years ago, was very, very happy. Now, mind you, whole MJ did not have as great a baseball career as he did basketball, but hey, it's still one of those, iconic modern cards. He has a couple, Upper Deck baseball cards, but this is like the one to get. So there we go. I'll put MJ behind Night Train here. Okay. Next, we're going to go with some CFL action. Actually, no. First, we got to go with this right here, which is actually the card I was waiting to receive back from PSA. So in spot number 7, I have written on my list here any 1909 to 1911 T206 card. And when this one popped up on Facebook Marketplace, I looked into who the player was, and I was like, oh, I like players with a history. Now, mind you, at the time of me recording this, it is currently like 10 after 3 in the afternoon. I have already taken my melatonin, so I am actually ready for bed. And I did not look up my facts or whatnot for this video. So, you're just going to have to take my word for it. But we have here in spot number 7 a Sweet Caporal T206 in a PSA 1.5 fair condition card of one Mr. Knapp Rucker. Now, as I said, Knapp Rucker has a very interesting story behind him, but as of right now, I cannot remember what it is. And I feel very, very bad for saying that. I apologize. But he was an interesting dude. So, again, just take my word for it. All right, in spot number 6, we now add some Canadian, or some more Canadian flair to this video, since we kicked it off with some 77 O-Pee-Chee, which, of course, made in Canada. But now we're going to go back to 1961 Topps CFL. Yes. And we're going with the rookie card of Montreal Alouettes legend and my dad's favorite Alouette. Again, the legendary Mr. George Dixon. Yes. It's not very often you come across old CFL cards, and when I looked this one up on eBay, what the guy was asking for it, and then, how nice shape it's in. I mean, it's got some soft corners in that, but I mean, for a card from 1961, this thing is beautiful. So when my dad always told me stories of George Dixon and how one hell of a player he was, and for such a short time he played, I was like, yeah, I gotta add something of him to my collection. And he doesn't have a lot of cards either, so to snag his rookie card is pretty cool. Okay, spot number 5. Now we're gonna go to some wrestling, and I could honestly say this wrestler is my favorite wrestler. Being a child of the Attitude Era, I saw this guy wrestle a lot through many different, you know, attire changes and whatnot throughout the years. Um, so we have here a 1998 WWF Superstars with a Z in a near mint to mint 8. This is also his rookie card of the Big Red Machine, or the Big Red Monster, the one and only Kane. It's gotta be Kane. Yeah. So, and that's a pretty cool picture too, because you got Kane coming down on Vader. That's pretty neat. So there we go. We got the Kane rookie card. Now, in the top 4 here, we got some cool stuff. So, spot number 4, we're going back to the early 60s, 1962 to be precise. So I have here, also graded, 1962 Topps in a EX, or in a 5, card number 1 from the set, Mr. Roger Maris. Yes. And one of the big reasons why I wanted this card of Roger Maris in particular, I mean, I still need his 65 Topps card for my set and everything, but the reason why I wanted this one so bad is because, of course, when you look at the stats and everything, you look for the year, and there's the 61 home runs. So that's why I wanted it. So, and also in the write-up, it mentions, Roger went into the record books as the only man ever to hit 61 home runs in a season. So there's a lot of baseball history on that one card. So yeah. Okay, into the top 3. And now we go back to some hockey. This I snagged off a seller on Facebook Marketplace. And when I saw the price of the card, I actually asked him, I was like, "Are you serious? That's how much you're asking for that card?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay." We have a 2012-13 Fleer Retro Jambalaya of my all-time favorite NHL goalie, the one and only Martin Brodeur. That's another little rule of mine. If I'm able to, if there's like a big ticket Brodeur I'm still missing from my PC, I try and put it on my top 10 list for the year. But yeah, jambalayas are not exactly the cheapest or easiest cards to pull. So again, when I saw how much the seller wanted for it, I had to message him and be like, "Are you sure?" And when he told me, yeah, I was like, well, say no more, because that card's coming to me. So, yeah. And I love this image in particular because he's wearing what I call his domino blocker. That's from what company? That's a Sherwood. But I always loved when he used that style of blocker in his equipment. Anyway, okay, top two here. All right, let's go with the autograph on the list. So we're going with NASCAR. So I'm sure there's some NASCAR fans out there. We have a 1996 The Scoreboard Auto Racing. Now this is an in-person autograph, but of all the ones I saw on not Instagram, on on eBay, this one was the cleanest autograph of his, because all the other ones he signed on the card, it's like he made sure that he found like the darkest part of the card to sign. Now, I know a lot of guys do that on purpose because they know a lot of people are going to try and sell their cards, so they want to do it so they don't get a lot of money for them. But this one, the autograph is clear as day, and well, I'm just happy to have his autograph because he's not with us anymore. So we have a in-person autograph of the Dominator, Dale Earnhardt Sr. Look how clear that autograph is. And I mean, if you're familiar with his autograph, you know, the D in Dale, like, you could see it, you know? And again, a lot of the other cards that were in person signed by him, like, there'd be like a lot of black on the card, and you could see that's where he signed on. And I'm like, oh, it just does not look good. So when I saw this one, I was like, oh, I gotta go after that. And it actually sat in my cart for about a week. And I was so nervous because I'm like, I hope it doesn't sell. I hope it doesn't sell. I hope it doesn't sell. And when I was ready to buy it, I looked and I saw it was still available. And I was like, yes. So there we go. To have an autograph of Dale Earnhardt Sr., that's pretty cool. And actually, we're just coming off the 25th anniversary of his passing at the Daytona 500. I mean, I still remember when that happened. I remember I was watching the race that afternoon, and about halfway, because I mean, it happened on like the last lap of the race, but about halfway through the race, I remember going out with my dad. We went shopping, and when we were coming home, I remember listening on the radio in the car, hearing that, you know, breaking news from the Daytona 500, big car accident involving car number 3, Dale Earnhardt, and getting home and putting it on you know, putting on the race and everything, and seeing the headlines, you know, Dale Earnhardt dies in crash, and I'm like, huh? Dale Earnhardt, really? Like, yeah, that was really something else, man. So just everything tied to that autograph, like, really means something. And then finally, in spot number 1. Now, I did some research, and apparently this is his rookie card. It's card 21 of the set. Now, I would love to get card number 1 of this set, because just the image on it is absolutely stunning. And I believe Commenting Collector has it in his collection. And I've seen mixed reviews. I've seen that the card he has, card number 1 of the set, apparently is the rookie card. And then I've seen articles that say that this card 21 of the set, is his rookie card. Anyway, so whichever side you're on, I'm going with this one. We have from 1956 Topps. Was it 1956 Topps Bubbles Incorporated whichever. We have a rookie card of the king of rock and roll himself, Mr. Elvis Aaron Presley. Now, being a huge fan of 50s music in general, 50s, 60s, I love 50s, the cars, the style, everything. Now, I know it wasn't a great era technically to grow up in when you look at things nowadays, but I love that era, when you could get a bottle of Coke for like a nickel. Stuff like that. Anyway, and the last little while I've been looking into like, non-sports rookie cards. And so like, when was it, in the early 90s, there was that Chromium Playboy card set that came out. And yes, there's a Donald Trump card in that set. And apparently that card counts as a rookie card of him. So I'm looking for cards on that, that level. And, growing up, ever since I was, knee high to a grasshopper, I've always been an Elvis Presley fan. And so I looked it up one day and I was like, does Elvis Presley have a rookie card? And it turns out in 56, Topps put out a whole Elvis Presley set. And again, like I said, on some sites, apparently this card, the self-portrait of Elvis, is considered to be his rookie. And then on other sites, card number 1, which just says, was it Go Elvis Go? And it's that iconic picture of him from, I think, the Louisiana Hayride. And he's playing his big acoustic guitar and everything. It's such an iconic picture of him. And apparently that counts as his rookie card. So, again, take it with a grain of salt. I'm going with this one. But all I could say is our list is complete. So, we did it. That's another year where I went after 10 cards in particular and managed to get all of them. And now I could finally start on this year's top 10 list. And in fact, any day now, I should have my first card from this year's list coming in the mail. So I'm very excited about that. But all in all, folks, I think I chewed your ears off long enough. We're over 28 minutes. This is a long one. So as long as it is, I hope you still enjoyed it. If you did, you know the routine. Sound off in the comments below. What were some of your favorite cards that I picked up in the year of 2025? As well, before leaving, make sure to dip on down into the description of this video, because as I said, there are links down there to all the newest inductees into the 2026, there are links down below to all the newest members of the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. There we go. That's better. And of course, before leaving, if you'd like to, though you don't have to if you don't want to, but again, if you'd like to, make sure to click that subscribe button. And if you do, click the little bell next to it so it lets you know when my videos go live. Alrighty, so that's it for me, folks. I hope you guys have a great remaining Friday. Hope you guys have an awesome weekend. And I will see you back here on Monday, where we should have a double dose of COMC goodness. Yes, I did a couple COMC orders. I was waiting for both of them to come in. They both arrived, and I'm going to open them all in one video. So we'll see what goodies wait for us. Alrighty, so till then, folks, I say to all of you out there watching, Laters.